It's now my pleasure to bring to the coffee shop and introduce our student speaker, Hira Mustafa. Hira, who hails from West Des Moines, is our student body president, advocating on behalf of more than 24,000 undergraduate students on a local, state, and national level. She graduates today with a major in ethics and public policy, a second major in business, and a minor in philosophy. During her time at Iowa, Hira has worked with professors on important research, served on the President's Advisory Committee on Sexual Misconduct, and led the development of a campus safety plan based on research into students' experiences and perceptions of the campus environment. Among the numerous achievements, she received the 2019 Hancher-Finkbine Medallion, the university's highest honor for leadership, learning, and loyalty. She is also a talented improv performer, taking first place in the National College Improv Tournament in 2016. Hira.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. My name is Hira Mustafa, and I am honored to stand before you today and congratulate all you, now Hawkeye alumni, on completing your degree from the University of Iowa. Thank you to Megan Gustafson, who graciously allowed us to host this ceremony in her living room. Today is a time to celebrate your hard work, the late nights spent at the library, the research you completed, the student organizations you joined, and the countless cups of coffee you've paid for at the Java House. If your experience here at Iowa was anything like mine, we can all agree it's been a wild ride. I'm sure along the way there were some major changes for each of you, pun intended. I want you to think back to your first week at Iowa. Picture the first college room you ever lived in, your roommate, the people who lived around you. Think back to your first class of the year. And no, I'm not talking about the online Success at Iowa course. I mean the first classroom you ever walked into. Think about trying to navigate which bus route to take to get to McBride Hall, and then going back home to the quad, which doesn't even exist anymore, rest in peace. Then think about the first test grade you got back. Some of you may have been celebrating, and others may have been more like me, locking themselves up in the Dom Hall bathroom to call my parents to tell them, I don't know how I'm ever going to graduate if I did this bad on my first test. Then calling them back at semester to let them know that the curve came in clutch and you passed. Remember going back home for your first winter break and getting this weird feeling in your gut that told you that you were technically home, but that Iowa City felt a little bit more like home now. The University of Iowa theme this past semester was the American Dream. I'd like to share a bit of my American dream with you all today. I was born in Dubai and lived in Pakistan for 2 years before moving to West Des Moines, Iowa when I was 3. My parents and I are immigrants, people who came to the United States hoping for a better future. And looking back at the past 20 years that I've spent in Iowa, we couldn't have chosen a better place to live. I got an opportunity to attend school here. And more than that, I got an opportunity to excel here. My professors, like Dave Gould, who's somewhere in the audience, staff members, deans, peers, administrators, they all shaped the person I am today. Their investment in me is the reason I was able to be the first woman of color student body president in the past 2 decades. They are the reason that when I called my grandfather in Karachi, Pakistan, to tell him that I had won the election, he burst into tears. He said he would have never imagined that his granddaughter would one day speak on behalf of 24,000 students in America. I am my family's American dream. And I owe this milestone to my family, who are sitting right here in the front row. Thank you to my little brothers, Omar and Maz, who have had my back since day one. Thank you to the other Omar in my life, my fiance, and his wonderful family who traveled all the way here from Atlanta last night to celebrate with me. Thank you to my grandfather, Abba, who is watching right now from Karachi, Pakistan. You were the first person to push me away from medicine and towards politics. I call that hashtag breaking stereotypes. Lastly, thank you to my parents. Mama and Baba, shukriya. Aapne mujhe sirf chalna nahi sikhaya, magar udna sikhaya. To the handful of non-Urdu speaking folks in the audience, that means thank you for not only teaching me how to walk, but for teaching me how to fly. During my time as student body president, I got to represent this community and school around the country. And it wasn't until I was away from home, what I call Iowa, that I realized what the Hawkeye spirit brings to the rest of the world. I believe that it is the Hawkeye spirit that urges us to step up and volunteer to lend a helping hand when someone is in need. I saw this on our campus when several student organizations collected money to buy books for children who had lost their materials to Hurricane Harvey. Our Hawkeye spirit brings us humility. Iowa alums have been creating some of the best-selling movies, including Avengers Endgame, which I watched till 1 a.m. last night. Yet somehow, our Hawks are always surprised to hear of another proud alum breaking records in the box office. And while our spirit keeps us humble, it also gives us the enthusiasm with which we carry out our work and celebrations. It's no secret why we have one of the best student sections in the country. Despite all of the unique barriers that you may have faced the past few years, you've made it. You've now joined the 6.7% of the world's population that holds a college degree. You now have an educational foundation that will propel you into changing this world. I want to share a quote with you from Melinda Gates. If you are successful, it is because somewhere, sometime, someone gave you a life or an idea that started you in the right direction. Remember also that you are indebted to life until you help some less fortunate person just as you were helped. As we consider the incredible opportunity we each have been afforded to step into some of the most crucial roles in society as neurologists, teachers, and economists, we must also realize that it is our job to give back and spread our Hawkeye spirit across the globe. How we do this is unique to each of us. We can give back by helping conduct life-saving medical research for our future patients, by becoming politicians that will fight to make higher education a possibility for a greater number of students, by volunteering our expertise to help solve our generation's greatest issues. The world needs us. It needs us to step up, to speak up, to lend a helping hand, and to care about our place in the world and how we too have a tremendous opportunity and responsibility to give back. Congratulations again. I am certain that each and every one of you can find your place of impact in the world, and there are 279,000 Hawkeyes alumni waiting to open their doors to help you do just that. There is no doubt in my mind that I will continue reading about my fellow Hawkeyes in the newspaper after I graduate, or I guess in our generation, reading tweets online about all my fellow Hawkeyes and what they are able to do. I can't wait until you are the nutritionists telling me to quit my college diet, my financial advisors telling me to invest in a house already, the script writers that dream up the next quiet place. But most of all, I can't wait to see how you all will go on to keep the Hawkeye spirit alive around the globe. The world certainly needs more of it. So for the last time in your undergraduate careers, on Iowa, go Hawks. Thank you.